As the dozens of evil figures, resembling death itself, were obliterated, the entire mystic mountain fortress slowly returned to order under the management of Wu Tianyu. A few moments later, in the rear garden of the city lord's mansion, what was usually a quiet place was now bustling with activity. Behind Xiao Yan stood an enormous army of thousands, but only a few dozen high-ranking individuals entered the fortress. Many strong cultivators remained outside, for if such a vast army had entered all at once, it could have caused panic. After all, compared to the ferocious Soul Domain or other places, the resources of the Xuanling continent were much more limited. If thousands of Do Xian-level experts had surged into the mystic mountain fortress, the scene would have been quite terrifying. Hee, my lord. We didn't stir up much of a commotion entering the fortress. I doubt anyone has noticed. Fiery and Fire Yun chuckled. With so many people, it would be hard not to be noticed. Mu Yingying, standing aside, spoke softly. My lord, Wu Tianyu suddenly felt dizzy as he looked at the dozens of powerful figures before him. Each of them had a level of strength far beyond what he could aspire to. After all, Wu Tianyu, a 2-star Do Xian, was already one of the top cultivators in the Xuanling continent, yet he felt so insignificant here. City Lord Wu, thank you for your efforts during the battle, Xiao Yan said, casting a quick glance at Mu Yingying, who silently stood behind him. Hee, my lord, you flatter me. If it weren't for your timely arrival, the mystic mountain fortress would have been in danger, Wu Tianyu said, overwhelmed by gratitude. Haha, so this is the so-called Do Di continent. A young woman standing behind Mu Yingying smiled. This is indeed a place full of vitality. It's perfect for humans to live, though the spiritual energy here is pitifully low. Tian Xian, a mid-level 5-star Do Xian, had been specially assigned by Xiao Yan to protect Mu Yingying. Even though Mu Yingying had been given the flame mantra, infused with the 15th-ranked Heartbreak Flame, reaching the strength of a 4-star Do Xian, Xiao Yan still wasn't fully at ease. Master Xiao Yan, now that the fortress crisis has been averted, I beg you to return to the Xuanling Mountain and rescue Queen Medusa, Wu Tianyu said, his face solemn. I was just about to ask that, Xiao Yan replied. How many of those invaders are there? And who leads them? They number in the thousands, and each one is extremely powerful. The leader appears to be a woman in red, Wu Tianyu said, recalling the details. Everyone calls her the Demon Queen. Wu Tianyu tried his best to remember. The Demon Queen. Poison Fiend Demon Queen? Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly widened with realization. I should have never let her go that time, Xiao Yan muttered, his voice laced with malice. Fire Yun, leave 1,000 elite guards to defend the borders. The rest of the strong cultivators will come with me to Xuanling Mountain, Xiao Yan ordered, turning to an elderly figure behind him. Yes, my lord. Fire Yun immediately left the garden to select the elite guards. After all, the Mystic Mountain Fortress was of great importance and needed heavy protection. My lord, the road to the core of Xuanling continent is still quite long. However, there is a spatial passage within the fortress that can drastically shorten the journey. It can only accommodate a few dozen people at a time, though. Wu Tianyu spoke again. Fire E, take most of the army through the main route. I will lead a group of elite warriors through the spatial passage, Xiao Yan said with a deep voice. Understood. Fire E immediately recognized the gravity of the situation. I will send officers to guide you all, Wu Tianyu said softly. Then we will split into 2 groups. Let's go. Xiao Yan, holding Mu Yingying's hand, immediately headed for the spatial passage within the fortress. At that moment, the massive army split into 2 groups. One, led by Xiao Yan, entered the spatial passage, composed mainly of 4-star and 5-star Do Xian experts. The other, under Fire E, marched straight towards the core of Xuanling continent. Meanwhile, in the core of Xuanling continent, after the Xuanling royal family was completely destroyed, Xuanling City and Xuanling Mountain had been dismantled. The Serpent people had used their unique architectural skills to transform the region into the current Xuanling Mountain. Xuanling Mountain was a range of mountains rich in heavenly energy, surrounded by birdsong and blooming flowers, perfect for the Serpent people to thrive. Inside the mountains, snake-shaped, strange buildings twisted and spread, gradually emerging. Flower Snaker, How is the situation now? Inside the grand palace at the top, countless purple crystals spread across the floor, and the spacious palace was arranged with neatly aligned chairs, resembling a conference room. After a moment, dozens of powerful figures slowly appeared. Among them were figures such as Fontion, the master of the fragrance-burning pavilion, the Snake Clan elder, the poison sect leader, and high-ranking members from various powerful factions of the Xuanling continent. Your Majesty, those mysterious beings are advancing like a torrent. It won't be long before the defense shield of our allied forces is completely shattered. At that point, our situation will be perilous. An elder slowly spoke, his voice low and somber. Where do these beings come from, and why are they attacking us without reason? Queen Medusa, sitting on her purple throne in the conference room, quietly leaned forward, her delicate hand resting on her forehead as she muttered. Moreover, judging by their actions, it seems they are targeting your Majesty and the 3 pavilion masters. As soon as Flower Snaker finished speaking, their gaze shifted toward Queen Medusa and the 4 of them. Humph! Our snake clan has been in seclusion for years. It's time to show these evil beings our power. Send the order down. Concentrate all our fighting strength. If the defense shield is broken, we will fight them to the death. As she spoke, a burst of 5-colored energy surged from Queen Medusa's body, causing her thin dress to ripple. Under the surge of this 5-colored energy, the entire temple was filled with an eerie stillness. Since Medusa's clan had taken control of the Xuanling continent, resources had been evenly distributed, and the top powers of most factions had grown significantly. The number of Docian had also increased markedly compared to before. You've broken through to 5-star Docian? Fontion exclaimed, his surprise evident. I just broke through not long ago, during a secluded retreat, Queen Medusa replied with a smile. Queen Medusa, of course, was Kailin. Due to her possession of the 10-colored devouring python's bloodline, Kailin's power had grown remarkably easily. With the right opportunities, her power would continually rise as she overcame tribulations, leading to a steady breakthrough. The 10-colored devouring python. Once she overcame the 10-colored tribulation, she might truly become a ruler of the heavens. Though, for now, she had only passed the 5th tribulation. In the decades since Xiao Yan's departure, Kailin's strength had reached the early stage of 5-star Docian, while Fontion had only reached the late stage of 3-star Docian. As for the poison sect leader and the master of Pill Valley, they had both stepped into the early stage of 3-star Docian. Everything will go as your Majesty says. Our Xuanling continent is not some soft target to be molded by others. We swear to live and die with Xuanling continent. The voices rang out in unison, like thunder that could shatter the heavens, reverberating throughout the sky. My lord, the major factions within the core area of Xuanling continent have already allied. They have formed a massive coalition, and their enormous defensive shield is blocking our attacks. Outside Xian Santion, thousands of black shadows stood in formation, their presence imbued with endless evil. However, at the same time, a dazzling 5-colored energy shield, stretching 1,000 feet high, surrounded and protected the vast space of Xian Santion. Increase the attack strength. We must break through it as quickly as possible. Otherwise, once the experts from the other 3 continents of Do-Di continent discover us, our situation will be dire. The poison fiend demon queen's eyes flickered as she seemed to glimpse the humans beneath the shield, their faces soon to show sorrow, pain, and despair. She couldn't help but chuckle. But, my lord, this defensive energy shield seems to contain some supreme force. With our current strength, we can't break it. Some of the powerful figures hidden in the black shadows couldn't help but exchange looks. Their figures ranged from 1-star to 3-star Docian, and as they launched a combined attack on the defense shield, they were disturbed by a wave of 5-colored energy that disrupted their minds. Even more terrifying was the supreme strength hidden within this 5-colored energy, which made their hearts tremble. As for the stronger 4-star and 5-star evil shadows, they held significant positions, quietly kneeling behind the poison fiend demon queen. The defense shield, led by Queen Medusa Kailin, was infused with the power of the 10-colored devouring python's bloodline, making it nearly indestructible. Any lesser attempts to breach it were doomed to fail. Get out of the way. After a moment, as she gazed at the sky inside the Xian Santian shield, a graceful figure wrapped in a 5-colored halo emerged, followed by dozens of powerful figures. Boom! The brilliant explosion spread like fireworks, and in an instant, the indestructible defense shield shattered into countless fragments, falling down from the sky. Cough, cough. A 6-star Docian? As the defense shield broke, Kai Lin's aura trembled faintly, clearly affected by the impact. Medusa Queen. As soon as the defense shield shattered, the Poison Fiend Demon Queen stepped forward with a sudden motion, her gaze fixed on Kai Lin. Both of them were women, and their fighting chi was highly poisonous. Their first meeting was filled with hostility. You have many exquisite things within you, so I don't mind slowly devouring you bit by bit. A faint, eerie light flickered in the Poison Fiend Demon Queen's eyes. You're really planning to do that? Kai Lin responded, her delicate jade-like hand slowly raising. Two incredibly powerful attacks suddenly fused together in a fierce strike. Meanwhile, elsewhere, as the defense shield dispersed, a tidal wave of evil energy, formed by thousands of dark figures, spread across the entire sky of the mystic three heavens. In an instant, the place turned into a hellish landscape. Charge! Time to protect our homes and country. Kill them! Both sides launched into intense combat without pause. However, strangely, despite the strength of the many powerful figures from the mystic three heavens being inferior to the evil forces, their unyielding bloodlust seemed to give them the upper hand. It was surprising that even among the evil figures, there were numerous evil overlords of the rank of Xun level and D level, yet they were being stalled by the mystic three heavens warriors. Among these fighters were mostly unfamiliar faces, making the outcome of the battle uncertain. Meanwhile, the experts from the super sects, like Fentian, found themselves entangled with evil overlords. Though they couldn't win in the short term, they had enough time to delay the situation. However, many of the super sects were also under attack by numerous evil figures. The mystic three heavens were enduring an unprecedented assault. So this is the so-called ruler of the Xuanling continent. Not so impressive. After a few exchanges, the Poison Fiend Demon Queen stood calmly in the sky, her gaze indifferent as she looked at Kai Lin, sneering. Among these people, only Kai Lin had the strength of a 5-star Docian. The rest of the strongest seemed to be merely at the peak of a 3-star Docian. Those beyond the 2-star Docian were few and far between. What the Poison Fiend Demon Queen hadn't expected was that despite Kai Lin only being in the early stages of 5-star Docian, she was still able to fight her to a standstill. The Poison Fiend Demon Queen had reached the peak of 6-star Docian. The gap between 6-star Docian and early-stage 5-star Docian was like heaven and earth. Yet, here she was, facing a challenge. Kai Lin's 5-colored aura was blocking nearly half of her attacks, and this mysterious power even filled the Poison Fiend Demon Queen with a sense of fear. No, you're wrong. I am not the ruler of the Xuanling continent. I am simply guarding this land for someone else. Kai Lin's chest rose and fell sharply. The battle with the Poison Fiend Demon Queen had caused her considerable harm, but she still managed a faint smile. Oh, then who is the ruler of the Xuanling continent? Now that the continent is on the brink of destruction, the ruler of the Xuanling continent refuses to show up? How interesting. The Poison Fiend Demon Queen laughed, her voice dripping with mockery. At this point, the battle's outcome was no longer in doubt. Victory or defeat, life or death, was all in the hands of the Poison Fiend Demon Queen. Who is it, don't you know? After a brief pause, Kai Lin also smiled. During their earlier exchange, Kai Lin had noticed a faint trace of flame energy on the Poison Fiend Demon Queen. That flame clearly had the scent of the Fireheart Heavenly Rock, something that reminded her of Xiao Yan. Realization dawned upon her. Since you insist on seeking death, don't blame me. Skybreaker's 7th strike, Venomous Fiend Bow. Seeing Kai Lin's strange smile, the Poison Fiend Demon Queen's rage flared. She threw her head back and roared. Immediately, countless dark forces surged around her, and before her, a massive green crossbow materialized. The green crossbow was covered in intricate, ant-like patterns, which exuded a terrifying evil aura that unsettled the mind. The moment the green crossbow appeared, the entire sky fell into a deathly silence, and an oppressive sense of doom filled the hearts of countless people. Is this the end of the world? Some of the common folk in the mystic three heavens gazed at the red-robed woman, slowly grasping the green crossbow in the sky, murmuring in fear, "Let me perish here once and for all." Without hesitation, the poison fiend demon queen's body began to burn with green evil energy. Without the bowstring, the evil fiend demon queen effortlessly manipulated the bowstring, and in an instant, a green bowstring appeared. The power contained within it was overwhelming, shaking the heavens and the earth, unstoppable. "Your Majesty, Lady Kailin." Witnessing such a terrifying attack, Xin Santian and the other high-ranking members couldn't help but shout in anger. Kailin, like this queen, clearly intended to perish alongside it, relying on her own strength alone. Come then. Kailin did not retreat, for she knew that if she did, countless innocent civilians, as well as her fellow disciples, would perish. She had no retreat. Buzz. At that moment, a faint, ethereal snake shadow slowly appeared above Kailin's head. The companion spirit serpent. Although this technique was quite powerful, the cost was immense. If the companion spirit serpent were harmed, the damage would multiply exponentially and rebound onto Kailin herself. But in this dire situation, Kailin had no other choice. This was a place Xiao Yan cherished, the land where his sect existed. No matter what, Kailin would guard every blade of grass here until his return, even if it meant death. And Xiao Yan was the true king of the Xuanling continent in Kailin's heart. Whoosh! A piercing sound of wind tearing through the air came from the evil fiend demon queen's bowstring. The power within it was terrifying. Just this one strike could likely kill Kailin instantly. As the companion spirit serpent appeared above Kailin, she suddenly spat a mouthful of blood. The serpent's body solidified, a faint, tin-colored glow swirling around it. The power of 10 colors, a force that could shake the heavens. But Kailin had only just barely mastered the power of 5 colors and couldn't fully unleash the full power of 10 colors. Otherwise, even someone as strong as the evil fiend demon queen, or even the strongest from the extraterritorial evil clan, would have been unable to withstand it. Die! Finally, as the evil fiend demon queen finished gathering the energy in the evil bowstring, she released her grip. The green bowstring pulled tight, shattering the void as it shot toward Kailin with devastating speed. Spirit Serpent Dance, 5-colored heaven-devouring force. Seeing this malicious attack, Kailin refused to give up. The companion spirit serpent above her head trembled violently, and a 5-colored energy ball formed, shooting toward the green bowstring. Boom! The two attacks collided, erupting like a volcano. The energy fluctuations echoed through the sky, but after a moment, the 5-colored energy ball was completely pierced by the green bowstring, which continued to shoot toward Kailin. Clearly, the disparity in power could not be bridged by this attack. With a helpless sigh, a look of determination suddenly appeared in Kailin's eyes. This was the land Xiao Yan depended on for survival, and Kailin understood his ambitions. She knew the Xuanling continent would surely become the base of Xiao Yan's future power. A brilliant smile spread across her face. Xiao Yan, you better take care of Xiao, or I will never forgive you, even as a ghost. As her words finished, Kailin's body became ethereal, and an overwhelming 5-colored holy light shone like the first rays of dawn, illuminating the entire land. Children without mothers don't get any sweets. You're really heartless? At that moment, as the battle reached its critical point, the void in the sky trembled. Kailin's slender waist was suddenly embraced by a warm hand, and a mischievous voice echoed in her ears. Shameless! Feeling that voice she had longed for, Kailin couldn't help but smile and scold. Her douqi momentarily stalling, her body trembling slightly. Her beautiful eyes gleamed with a hint of moisture. Whoosh! The two smiled, but the green evil bowstring was still charging toward them with unstoppable force. Bang, bang, bang. With a casual wave of his arm, Xiao Yan summoned a soft, water-like aura that covered the entire sky. This was his base, and Xiao Yan would not allow anything to threaten it. The terrifying defensive power of the tyrant seal instantly engulfed the evil bowstring, and the sky returned to calm. All right, leave the rest to me. Xiao Yan emerged fully from the void, slowly retracting his hand, unable to resist planting a kiss on the beautiful woman in front of him. How dare you? To think you would dare to be so disrespectful to Her Majesty the Queen. Are you seeking death? As the terrifying force descended from the sky, the onlookers were left stunned by Xiao Yan's almost roguelike actions. Medusa, the queen, was the true ruler of the Xuanling continent. How could this man be so audacious? Watching the thin figure beside Queen Medusa, the Medusa guard and several key figures of the serpent people couldn't help but roar. The deafening sound could easily shatter the heavens. However, these individuals were clearly new to the scene after Xiao Yan had left, and they didn't recognize him, which was understandable. Xiao Yan? After a brief moment, Fentian's do qi surged violently, instantly shaking off the evil demon he was fighting. His pupils involuntarily moistened, and he exclaimed in disbelief. While others may not recognize this figure, Fentian would never mistake him. The familiar high-ranking individuals watching the thin figure in front of them felt a sense of relief. With him here, this battle would likely be much easier. She's very strong, at least a 6-star Docian. At this moment, Kai Lin, who looked like a little girl, quietly lay in Xiao Yan's arms, enjoying this warm moment, and spoke. Don't worry, she's an old opponent. Ying, take the other strong ones and completely wipe out all the evil beings invading our Xuanling continent. Remember, don't leave any evil creatures alive. Reluctantly releasing Kai Lin, Xiao Yan's gaze shifted back toward the poison fiend demon queen. As Xiao Yan's voice fell, a surge of powerful auras suddenly emerged from a spatial passage below. The strength of these beings was equal to that of the powerful demons. This guy has grown a lot now. Seeing the dozens of strong individuals suddenly appearing and efficiently engaging the powerful demons, the heads of the major sects felt a sense of relief. Let's watch the show now. For a moment, Fentian, the poison sect master, the valley master of 10,000 flowers, and others quietly crouched to the side. After all, their power was limited. You're still alive. You really have luck on your side. The poison fiend demon queen slowly spoke, her voice heavy. Clearly, even though Xiao Yan's strength was only at the 5-star Docian level, she still felt a powerful pressure from him, let alone the high-level existence she had sensed within him back in the demon-suppressing prison. Devourer of souls. Don't worry, Master and the others have already finished in the Ghost Realm and are heading back to the soul-devouring domain. But a mere 6-star Docian is not enough to make Master act. This time, I'll leave you here forever. Just in time to ask you some questions. Xiao Yan and the poison fiend demon queen stood quietly in the clouds, their overwhelming pressure and aura slowly emanating. It was unclear whether this would be a massacre or a one-sided crushing. To use your human words, aren't you afraid of injuring your tongue with the wind? My full 6-star Docian strength, could it possibly be compared to a mere mid-level 5-star Docian like you? After a brief silence, the poison fiend demon queen spoke again. Since the end of the demon-suppressing prison, she had returned to the extraterritorial evil clan, where she was once again promoted and even received the help of some king-level powerhouses to improve her strength. She was then dispatched to Xuanling continent to capture Medusa and others, aiming to capture Xiao Yan. Although Xiao Yan was weak, rumors of the sacred flame and other powerful beings around him had quietly reached the extraterritorial evil clan. To avoid any future threats to their long-planned scheme, the extraterritorial evil clan would not allow him to live, especially considering his involvement in the downfall of several evil races. Then let's see. Xiao Yan, tired of talking, said slowly. His strength had already reached the late stage of 5-star Docian, but because of reviving Mu Ying, it had been reduced to the mid-level of 5-star Docian, and he had even lost the Heartbreak Flame. However, Xiao Yan's combat ability had grown significantly, and with the many methods at his disposal, he still had the power to fight the poison fiend demon queen, who had reached 6-star Dosian perfection. Ridiculous. Take this. The poison fiend demon queen didn't hesitate any longer. Her red robes floated, and waves of red energy began to emerge from under them. As this energy appeared, the previously clear sky suddenly turned murky, resembling the apocalyptic blood-red scenery which filled everyone with fear. A mere trick. No need to panic. Xiao Yan's gaze became profound as the ancient ruler of heavenly flames appeared behind him, watching the poison fiend demon queen. Xiao Yan, I am no longer the same as before. Since you insist on seeking death today, I will grant your wish. Thousand fiend demon abyss. A cold snort echoed, and a piercing roar spread out. Boom, boom, boom. As the poison fiend demon queen roared, endless blood clouds spread across the vast sky of Xian Santian, and within these blood clouds were countless ferocious blood-colored phantom figures. Their expressions were filled with pain, reluctance, hatred, and a sinister, evil aura. Chirp, chirp, chirp. A trace of such evil blood cloud, an incubus slowly emerged from the horizon. Countless civilians from the mystic three heavens were filled with an inexplicable sense of oppression, their hearts heavy. They put down everything in their hands, their gazes fixed tightly on the evil poison fiend demon queen and Xiao Yan's emaciated body, which were bathed in the blood-red sky. At this moment, the contrast between Xiao Yan's emaciated figure and the evil poison fiend demon queen, surrounded by countless evil bodies, was unmistakable. Will he win? At this time, the poison sect's base, the incense pavilion, the 10,000 Flowers Valley, and some old companions of Xiao Yan quietly watched the blood-red magic abyss gathering in the sky. They couldn't help but mutter softly, their fists clenched, as if this was an unprecedented catastrophe. Don't worry. After a moment, an elder slowly stepped forward, smiling as he comforted them. Zhu Jin, Elder Zhu. Then let's just wait for his return as a king. A moment later, inside the incense pavilion, Ling Xian and others quietly watched Xiao Yan in the sky. The long-lost power. Back then, I left the busy world behind and now? Accept judgment. Ruler, come. Amber rock soul flame. Xiao Yan's body trembled slightly, and the ancient ruler of heavenly flames once again gripped his hand. This time, however, as the amber rock soul flame's power enveloped it, the ancient ruler of heavenly flames shone brilliantly. Even a strange light flowed from it. The power contained within this light was far beyond anything it could have matched before. Clearly, this ancient ruler of heavenly flames was more than just a Do technique formed by the gathering of exotic flames. There was likely a greater secret waiting for Xiao Yan to explore. Ruler explosion. Without any unnecessary movements, Xiao Yan gripped the ancient ruler of heavenly flames and used the power of the amber rock soul flame to strike down towards the evil poison fiend demon queen. Whoosh! Though it seemed like a simple attack, it contained a pure, soul-purifying holy power that immediately split the blood-red magic abyss in the sky, creating a massive gap several dozen yards wide, devouring thousands of souls. The evil poison fiend demon queen's beautiful eyes, hidden beneath her hood, revealed a trace of shock when she saw the strange amber-colored flame around Xiao Yan. She immediately raised her hand, and the countless demonic shadows from the abyss behind her were cast toward Xiao Yan. Back when they were in the demon-suppressing prison, Xiao Yan didn't possess this level of strength. But now, in less than a few decades, his power had grown to a terrifying level, so much so that it made her feel fear. If left unchecked, Xiao Yan would undoubtedly become a serious threat in the future. Boom, boom, boom. With a push from the evil poison fiend demon queen, the blood-red magic abyss surged forward, bringing with it an unstoppable evil aura that descended upon Xiao Yan like a falling sky. Here it comes. Dragon God Third Transformation. Flame Swallowing Technique. Flame Explosion Technique. Seeing the extreme evil of the magic abyss, Xiao Yan, instead of feeling fear, smiled lightly. In an instant, Xiao Yan's power surged once again. Scales of incredible defensive strength grew along his arms, his speed skyrocketed, and most importantly, His strength surged from the mid-5-star Do Xian to the mid-6-star Do Xian. The Amber Rock Soul Flame, combined with the flame-swallowing technique, had truly caused Xiao Yan's power to soar by a full level in a short period of time. Heavenly Dome 4 fingers. 1 finger calls the sky. 2 fingers split the heavens. 3 fingers shatter the mountains. 4 fingers pierce the sky. As the blood-red magic abyss drew closer, Xiao Yan's hand suddenly lifted, and 4 sky-piercing finger beams shot towards it. The power contained within these beams was enough to easily wipe out any 5-star Do Xian. However, Xiao Yan also knew that relying solely on this attack wouldn't be enough to defeat the fully recovered evil poison fiend Demon Queen. After all, his Heavenly Dome 4 fingers and the Creation 3 fists had already been mastered to an extraordinary degree, but even now, he felt some strain. Boom, boom, boom. The 4 fierce finger beams shot out and briefly halted the descent of the blood-red magic abyss, but they shattered almost instantly. Lovesickness Flame Domain. The Buddha's Fury reincarnation in 4 colors. As the 4 finger beams dissipated, the entire sky was enveloped by an extremely hot, pinkish flame energy. Even Xiao Yan, standing calmly in the domain, felt the 4 exquisite lotus seeds on his palm gently squirming, yet the fluctuations they emitted were enough to send chills down one's spine. Not good. Seeing this, the evil poison fiend Demon Queen's face changed, as she realized something terrifying was about to happen. From the seemingly inconspicuous 4-colored lotus flame, she could sense a wave of destruction so close to death itself. Too late. Stay here forever. Seeing the evil poison fiend Demon Queen desperately abandon the control of the magic abyss and flee toward the edge of the domain, Xiao Yan waved his hand. At this moment, the poison fiend Demon Queen finally understood why Xiao Yan had caught the attention of the powerful beings within the evil clan. Unfortunately, she was unaware that Xiao Yan possessed such a terrifying combat technique, fusing multiple sacred flames together. If she had known, even if given 100 chances, she would never have dared to lead the extraterritorial evil clan forces to attack the Xuanling continent. It truly was a case of one wrong step, leading to a cascade of mistakes. Boom! Destructive ripples, like spring water, spread out continuously from the pink lovesickness flame domain, coupled with the domain's unique properties, weakening the enemy's power by 1 star and strengthening her own by 1 star. At this moment, the poison fiend Demon Queen was at the late stage of 6-star Do Xian, the same as Xiao Yan. Thus, Xiao Yan's power surged, becoming unstoppable. Thud! When the 4-color fire lotus struck the poison fiend Demon Queen, her expression dimmed, and her hand once again wielded the evil artifact. Boom! Facing Xiao Yan's deadly sacred flame fire lotus, the towering green demonic aura on the poison fiend Demon Queen's body surged out. Her palm immediately enlarged the silver demonic energy artifact she wielded. In an instant, the poison fiend Demon Bell expanded into a massive demonic aura shield, enveloping the Demon Queen's body, gradually resisting the destructive fire lotus from Xiao Yan. We'll meet again, and I will completely annihilate you, the poison fiend Demon Queen said grimly, her face filled with fury as she realized that she had been defeated by this man yet again. Don't worry, it's not going to happen a 3rd time. You won't have another chance. Xiao Yan responded, his expression unchanging. Poison fiend Demon Bell, explode for me, she shouted softly, and suddenly, the massive demonic aura shield around her shrank rapidly, on the verge of exploding. If left unchecked, the explosion could affect not only the domain but even the entire Xuanling 3rd heaven. 40,000 core inscriptions. Bind them. Seeing the poison fiend Demon Queen's desperate attempt, Xiao Yan's core inscriptions within the Naiwan Palace stirred violently, and based on the lovesickness flame domain, he unleashed a fire formation infused with 40,000 core inscriptions. The formation not only contained the power of sacred flames, but also had a special binding force added by Xiao Yan. Gulp. How is this possible? Seeing Xiao Yan's unstoppable move, the poison fiend Demon Queen's demonic aura shield suddenly contracted to just a few dozen meters. Trapped within the combined fire formation and lovesickness flame domain, She had no room left to escape. Ha, indeed, both formation and soul power cultivation cannot be neglected, Xiao Yan said with a satisfied smile. Though his Do Qi and soul power had greatly improved during this journey through the ghost realm, his battle and soul attack techniques had seen little improvement. Even his formation skills and alchemy had not been used for a long time. It seemed he would have to find time to make up for these areas. You want me dead? You won't have it easy either. Explode for me. Realizing there was no way out, the poison fiend demon queen's eyes flashed coldly, and she attempted to self-destruct. What's going on? Just as she was about to self-destruct, the evil force within her body couldn't be used, trapped by the lovesickness flame domain and the fire formation. Don't waste your efforts, just accept your punishment, Xiao Yan said with a smile. He had expected her to try self-destruction, so he had added special powers to the core inscriptions, preventing her from doing so. After all, there were still things Xiao Yan needed to interrogate the poison fiend demon queen about. I have some questions for you, and I hope you'll answer truthfully. In this space with only the two of them, Xiao Yan spoke directly, without hesitation. Dream on. The poison fiend demon queen roared in a distorted voice, and beneath her hood, a faintly evil pattern appeared on her forehead, subtly emerging. Has an evil mark been placed on you? Even if it was fleeting, Xiao Yan noticed it immediately and shook his head in disbelief. Within the extraterritorial evil clan, the strongest beings would always personally inscribe an evil mark when ordering their subordinates to carry out tasks. This ensured that, even if the mission failed, no information would be leaked. Soul. After a brief pause, Xiao Yan no longer hesitated. His soul sea and spirit palace burst forth with dazzling light, and his soul clone, Xiao Lei, reappeared. It's all yours, Xiao Yan said in a deep voice. He needed a lot of information about the extraterritorial evil clan and other matters, and since the poison fiend demon queen held a relatively high status within the clan, Xiao Lei would have to enter her mind to extract useful information. Understood. Xiao Lei nodded lightly and then transformed into a streak of light, diving directly into the poison fiend demon queen's body. Boom. Xiao Lei's figure was immediately blocked by the dark pattern on the poison fiend demon queen's forehead. That level of evil mark was so powerful that even Xiao Lei couldn't withstand it for a moment. Leave it to me. Power of the sacred flame. Seeing the extreme evil mark, Xiao Yan felt immense pressure. Reincarnation. It is the domain of the most powerful beings of the extraterritorial evil clans, those who have truly stepped into the 9 layers of reincarnation. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Xiao Yan, who possesses 4 sacred flames, to feel as though he were facing a formidable enemy. Crack! With a sound, the pitch-black pattern didn't hold for long before it shattered completely, then dissipated. Xiao Lei transformed into a streak of meteor and leaped into it. A few minutes later, Xiao Lei's figure emerged once again. The Council of Kings? What are these extraterritorial evil clans plotting? After a moment, as Xiao Lei probed the memories, a series of rare messages were revealed to Xiao Yan. Clearly, this Council of Kings is likely the true grand event of the entire extraterritorial evil clan, and Xiao Yan had an unsettling feeling that, before long, the evil clan would make a major move. However, the memory probe yielded little useful information. It was evident that the poison fiend demon queen's status was far from reaching the core of the extraterritorial evil clan. Yet, the early memories, showing the queen's ruthless killing spree, made Xiao Yan despise her greatly. Forget it. Let it be destroyed. Looking at the poison fiend demon queen, who had fallen into a coma, Xiao Yan showed no mercy. The brilliant amber-colored sacred flame suddenly spread out, easily engulfing her in flames, and the mighty poison fiend demon queen perished there. At the same time, far away beyond the great 1,000 worlds, on an evil mountain peak, crack! With a sound, a piece of pitch-black jade suddenly shattered. The words, Poison Fiend Demon Queen, were prominently displayed on the jade. So, the Poison Fiend Demon Queen has fallen. Looking at the shattered jade that had turned to dust in his hand, the dark energy mass atop the mountain muttered, Master of the Dark Demon, The light demon led his demon guards to slaughter part of our important territories, then betrayed the extraterritorial evil clan. If we let this go, it might be extremely detrimental to us. After a moment, a shadow reappeared from the void and respectfully spoke. Send 3 black-level kings. The light demon must be captured. Also, send people to keep an eye on the forces within the human realm's holy sea. Yes, master. With those words, the shadow vanished again, and the entire evil domain exuded an ominous, apocalyptic aura. The light demon, huh? Back then, you begged me to fall into the demon abyss willingly. Now you want to be worshipped like the archangels of old. And where does that leave me, the dark demon? The moment the words fell, the area once again fell silent.